Welcome to Purpose and Excellence. You know, when people ask about you, when they say, for instance, what is Modesta like? They're actually asking people not what you look like on the outside. They're asking, what is Modesta like as a person? What is Modesta's character like? You know, is she an approachable, closed-up person? Is she a good person or a bad person? Does she care, or is she just mean and couldn't care less? And your character actually stems from your values. My name is Modesta Lillian Buguni, and here on Purpose and Excellence, we've been talking about our God-given purpose, the vision we want to execute, and the mission, the how we want to do it. Now, all of this God-sized, huge, hairy, audacious vision that we have cannot be accomplished without us embedding it in values. And so our values are our compass, our standards and principles by which we want to live by. It's also our judgment of what's important in life. So I'll give you an example. If I decide to do a business, I can decide to have really cheap things if I don't really value quality and my customers, or I can decide to pay the cost and make sure that I sell quality products. Your values are what will say, you know, I'm in a relationship now. For instance, I am married now, and so I cannot live like a single person. So family is a value that I would uphold. And it's really key to have our values because they determine what we are identified with. They determine who we'll do business with based on ours and their values. They determine what you will do and what you will not dare do. And so setting our values is a really key area. And I think it's really easy on one respect, and it can be mighty hard in another. Setting your values is an easy exercise because you actually already do know your values. You know what you believe in. You know what you find comfortable and what you don't. You know actually already what you want to be identified with or not. On the other hand, setting your values is also a hard exercise because you may not have put boundaries for yourself before. You may not have actually penned down what it is you stand for or don't. Or maybe you've switched situations in life and now you have this vision, but your values haven't caught up with your vision, and so there's a clash. Because we're leaders, and if you've been following Purpose and Excellence, you're a leader. Because we're leaders, we'll find that this situation, this position of leadership requires some values from you. So I'll give you an example. King David in 2 Samuel chapters 11 and 12. So this king is found to be at home lounging in the palace at a time when all kings are out at war. So he's idling around, and as he walks around his palace, he sees a beautiful woman bathing in her house. So he summons for this man to be brought from the war front. And in his mind is, he'll go home and he'll lay with his wife, and so his sin will be covered up. But this is an honorable man. He says, no, I'm not going to go home and enjoy myself when all the other men are up at the war front. And so he's thinking, this man will not budge. And this is what the king decides. He orders his general to make sure this man is taken to the war front so that he's exposed and can get killed, which they do, and he does get killed. And then he takes his widow as his wife. So of course, God holds him to the highest standards of ethics. And so he has a child, the child dies, but he repents to God, and of course, he's obedient thereon. But really, this is a lesson to all of us. We are leaders. We are in pursuit of purpose that's greater than us, a God-given purpose. There is no way that we can live without pursuing values, without our lives being embedded in values. And so in setting our values, it's really key to look at, what has God called me to do? Why am I here? Where do I want to go? What specifically do I want to do? And what values will I stand by? What standards, what beliefs will I stand by to make it happen? Now here's a little exercise. Although it is simple, I advise that you take time, even a week doing this, even 2 weeks, if you're willing to make the time. So this is what I'd recommend. Get a clean sheet of paper and pen and list down from your past experiences, whether it was work or business, whatever your endeavors have been, for each experience, write down 3 things that you absolutely loved about that experience, 3 things that you liked, 3 things that you tolerated, and 3 things that you absolutely hated, disliked. And do that for all of your past experiences, and you will see a trend that's coming up. And for the things that you tolerated or disliked, if you happen to find that it's because a value of yours wasn't being met, then you can write down what that value is that you wish was being met. And then take a break from that exercise. You can even take a day away from that. And then the next exercise that you do is you write down what you find to be most important in work or in business or in life in general, if you're neither working or in business. And you can write up to 50 things. Whatever comes to mind, it doesn't have to sound very value-like language, just whatever it is that you think is most important. And then take a break from that as well and see if there are trends that you see from the first exercise that you did and the second one. And where you see a trend, start writing down 10 values that you really think reflect you. And do this on the left side of your sheet. Write A to J. So A, you'll write, the first value and continue that way. And then on the right side of the sheet, write the numbers 1 to 10. And so what I now want you to do, and I want you to listen to me clearly, is look at A and B, value A and B. Which one do you think is important? And if you think A is important, okay, compare A to C. Which value do you find important between the two? If A remains important, continue down till you get to J. Then if A has been important in all your comparisons till J, then A is value priority number 1. Then go to B. Compare B to C. And you continue that exercise until you're done with all of them. You will get, in list of priorities, what values are really important to you. And then I suggest that you take the 5 that you think most resonate with your purpose, vision, and mission. And those will be the values by which you stand by. I hope you found that exercise both enjoyable and revealing. You will find that there are areas that you might want to start moving into. You might find that there are things and you're thinking, I've never liked this. I mean, repeatedly, everywhere I've worked, I haven't liked this. Why am I still at it? I think it'll really help you with soul searching. It'll really help you with positioning where you want to go in life. As Roy Disney said, it is not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. Your values will be what the world will identify, relate, and remember you by. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Remember to contact us, to engage with us on our platforms. I'm really enjoying this journey, and I look forward to seeing you again on Purpose and Excellence.